Hello, everyone. It's Robert Castle here. Great to see you. I've been hearing from many of you lately about a particular issue that's been causing some discomfort in your professional lives, and that's the challenge of imposter syndrome. A lot of people are uncomfortable admitting that this causes them stress, but it's a lot more common than you may realize, and it often goes undiscussed. In the last 4 weeks, I've literally talked with 6 different executives in depth about this topic and how to solve for it. Now, if you're sitting there wondering, imposter syndrome, is that what I've been feeling? Then you're in the right place, because today we're diving deep into what it is, how it can affect your professional growth, and most importantly, how you can overcome it. So first of all, what is it? Imposter syndrome is quite simply that gnawing feeling that you're not as competent as others perceive you to be. Despite your accomplishments, you may attribute your success to luck or timing rather than your own skills or qualifications. Basically, you think you're a fraud. It's the fear that you'll be exposed as such, and it affects people at all ages and experience levels, from new hires to seasoned executives, including CEO, and including leaders of multi-million and billion-dollar business units. It's a form of personal and professional self-sabotage. So what's the impact? In the professional world, the impact of imposter syndrome is far-reaching. It can stifle creativity, hinder performance, and most alarmingly, it can limit your career progression. It stops you from taking on new opportunities, taking risks, and stops you from basically going for it out of fear of failure or exposure. Simply put, imposter syndrome can act as an invisible barrier to your performance and your overall success. I often view imposter syndrome as a subconscious defense mechanism that is trying to protect you. But in the end, it's so conservative and it's so overly protective that it keeps you inside of a small box and prevents you from taking reasonable steps that would help you grow both professionally and personally, and then experiencing the sense of fulfillment that accompanies such growth. It holds you back from being your best. So where does imposter syndrome come from? Well, it comes from a number of different places. It's often a mix of personal and environmental and societal factors. So family of origin dynamics can play a key role. For instance, a family that oscillated between high praise and sharp criticism may instill a sense of uncertainty around one's accomplishments. Personality traits such as perfectionism or a tendency towards self-criticism can set the stage for self-doubt. Competitive or high-pressure work environments may exacerbate feelings of imposter syndrome, especially if they coincide with an individual standing out or feeling different from their peers. So the habit of comparing oneself to others can really exacerbate this feeling. Even being thrust into new situations, roles, or responsibilities can also trigger imposter syndrome. Now, beyond the personal and immediate environmental factors, there are broader societal or cultural pressures or stereotypes around success and competence that can further fuel this self-perception. Let's take one example on how it might impact business performance. So take your formal schooling. For example, most people have been through high school, and college types of environments before they enter the professional ranks. And during this schooling, people are basically trained to be subservient to the authority figures who have the answers, their professors, rather than being comfortable looking for answers inside of themselves. If you want an A, you had better put the right answer on the test. Military training can have a similar result. So in a professional setting later in life, when a boss or a client or some other person in authority tells you what to do that you disagree with, you don't speak up. You don't share your concerns. You're afraid to risk a discussion where you express your point of view to the authority figure. And that decision may result in poor results, not only for the team, not only for your boss, but also for you, because you didn't speak up. Now, what to do about it? Well, here's the good news. You're not alone, and it's absolutely possible to change this pattern of thinking. The first step in overcoming imposter syndrome is first noticing it. It's having enough awareness to recognize it. And sometimes that takes some practice to be able to step back enough and observe yourself and recognize that this is what you're thinking and doing. So doing this introspection and recognizing the root causes of imposter syndrome is a crucial part of tackling it and getting rid of it, because it empowers you to directly identify and then address that source of self-doubt. Now, the second step is interrupting it. So what does that mean? Well, basically stop the cascade of imposter syndrome thoughts from feeding on one another and growing. Sometimes it's like an avalanche. It starts with a pebble, then it starts building momentum and gathering other thoughts and energy. And before you know it, you've been fueling this kind of thinking for a half hour, wasting time and really putting yourself in a non-productive state, basically blocking yourself from where it is that you want to go. Boom, you've been hijacked by imposter syndrome. So you don't want that to build up. So that's why we want to interrupt it. So what we do is interrupt that self-sabotage before acting it out. Do something immediately to break the pattern. It could be something mental, shift to a new set of thoughts, a new way of thinking, such as reframing the situation as a gift or an opportunity, or it could be something physical, like just go out and take a walk or do some exercise, or it could be something emotional, like accessing some positive memories or doing something that you really love to do, or reading a favorite book or listening to uplifting music in order to shift your mindset. And then you go back to whatever it was that you were doing with this new mindset and allow that new mindset to shift what it is that you're doing to be more productive and more constructive. And then the third step is really building up consistent patterns of thinking and behavior that are just more productive than that old imposter syndrome way of thinking. Just like you developed the habit of imposter syndrome through repetitive, counterproductive thinking and behaving, you can do the opposite and build positive habits that are more productive. So instead of using your mind to fuel self-doubts, you're going to build up your mental muscles in a way that enable you to be a better leader and to enjoy yourself while you're leading. Now, while these steps are beneficial, I understand that how tough it can be to combat imposter syndrome on your own. And that's why I've designed a tailored coaching program that specifically addresses this issue. It helps you understand the root cause of your imposter syndrome, but it also provides personalized strategies to overcoming it. And together, we navigate your unique challenges and guide you towards a more confident, empowered professional self. And it's not about becoming someone else. It's about sweeping away the stuff that's in your way and fully embracing who you already are and stepping into your own power and authenticity and confidence. So if you're ready to banish imposter syndrome and embrace your potential, I encourage you to reach out. Let's transform your professional journey together, making the path clearer, the steps bolder, and the victory sweeter. So thank you for watching. Remember, you're not an imposter. You're a capable and skilled professional, and it's time the world sees you as you truly are. I hope this helps. If you found this worthwhile, please like and subscribe. And if you have a suggestion for a future topic, contact me and I'll consider doing a short take on it sometime in the future. Take care.